So do you ever feel mentally stuck or stressed out? You feel like your brain is buffering? Walking is one of the simplest ways to restart your brain and get you back in flow. Good morning. We are back in the Bosque for another Saturday morning walk. There's Amber and Apollo. Today we're going to talk about how walking helps you to generate new ideas, reduce stress, and boost your creative thinking. When you walk, your brain activates something called the default mode network. And that's the part that's responsible for daydreaming, problem solving, and connecting ideas. There was a well-known study performed by Stanford researchers demonstrating the correlation between walking and creative thoughts. So in this one study, there were 3 different groups of people, and they were going to run through the test 2 times. And they were, I think the example was alternate valid uses for a house key. So the 3 groups of people participating, Group A would remain seated for both of the tests. Group B would be seated for the first test, and then they'd be walking on a treadmill for the second test. And Group C would be walking on a treadmill for the first test, and then they would take a seat for the second test. And the interesting thing in this study is they observed that Groups A and B, who were both sitting for the first part of the test, on average had, I think it was like 20 unique creative alternate uses for a house key. And Group C, that was walking, was close to double that amount of creative ideas. So in the second part of the test, Group A once again sat. They had similar results as the first part of the test. Group B, who was sitting in the first test, was walking during the second test, and their results during the second test were close to what that first group that was walking was, which was nearly double of the sitting crowd. But the interesting thing is with Group C, who was walking during the first test, and they had the most creative ideas, they sat during the second test, but they still had, there was a little bit of a decline, but not as low as the crowd that sat during the first test. So apparently there were some residual effects of exercise in terms of walking exercise, in terms of keeping the brain stimulated, allowing it to be more creative. And so why is that important? Well, it's important because it just demonstrates the value and the effect of taking a walk. And I think one of the key call-outs was to move at a pace where you're comfortable, so then that way your mind isn't focused on the act of walking or running, the act of exercising, the act of not dying, and really just allowing your brain the freedom to get out of that linear thinking and into that more divergent space where you can come up with ideas and solutions. So, as I do every week, this is your weekly reminder to get up off the couch, get outside, get into nature, just go for a walk. Ideally, it's at least 30 minutes a day, even if you go walk for 10 or 15 minutes. The benefits, not only for your body overall, but for your mind and mental health and stress levels, benefits are definitely going to be worth it. So when you're walking, you're not just getting exercise for your body, but you're also giving your brain a chance to explore new ideas, make new connections, and just think outside of the box. And these are all key ingredients for any creative process. So these geese, they have some babies over here, and so they don't want to leave. But they're making like a hissing sound. The heads are kind of moving. I think they're trying to represent themselves as snakes. I've never seen that before. I'm gonna have to look that up. If that's the case, that's pretty cool. Because they were definitely hissing. Heads were beeping and bopping. That was kind of a cool sight to see. Just a beautiful day. Nice area down here in the valley. All these beautiful properties. All right, I just checked on the Google and said that geese become noisy, including making that hissing sound when they're just trying to shoo a threat away from them. And obviously they're babies. They have the two little babies sitting there. Good job, goose parents, taking care of those babies. We're lucky we didn't get attacked and chased down this walkway by those big geese. That'd have made for a fun video, though, if we would have had that type of an encounter. This is really pretty. I didn't even know this existed. Like, this is just a cool little spot. Man, I knew we should have brought our coffee. Oh, it's the Bacheci Family Memorial Rose Garden. Carlo and Mary O. Bacheci settled on this property on Rio Grande Boulevard in 1938. Go Bachechis. Look at how pretty these roses are. This is pretty. Very fragrant. How cool is this spot if you just wanted to come out and shoot a talking head video or something? I mean, you just can't beat this spot right here. Hopefully you got something out of today's video. Whenever you're feeling stressed or lack of creativity, overwhelmed, just go out and take a walk. See what it's like, see if it helps you. Even if you can only do 10 or 15 minutes, a day, I think you're gonna find that tremendously helpful. If you can get 30 a day, that's even better. 30 minutes is, I think, the ideal active walking state per day. That's what we try to do every day. And it's very helpful. It helps to really reduce stress. Definitely helps to motivate me creatively. I think I've come up with a lot more ideas and work through a lot of problems while we're out walking. So give it a try, and then let us know in the comments if it helped you in any way. Thanks for watching. Thanks for spending the time with us. I know your time is valuable. We do appreciate you taking the time to watch these videos. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave some comments below. I'd love to engage with all of you. Hope you all have a fantastic weekend. Happy Mother's Day to all of you mothers out there. Got some roses for you right there, right behind me. Hope you have a fantastic Mother's Day. Be good to each other, and we'll see you all on the next one. Yeah, they're itching me.
Look, they're on your body.
Gross.
They were on mine too.
Gross. Ah! I'm covered in black buggy fly things. Ah!